So, welcome you all in this session और इस सेशन में चर्चा करेंगे origins of monumental stone sculpture and architecture in India. In fact, we begin with Indus Valley civilization and now come down to modern art and culture. So now see. The beginning of monumental stone sculpture and architecture in the Indian subcontinent can be traced back to the Harappan civilization. However, following the decline of this ancient culture, such artistic individuals faded for a time. It was only during the modern period these monumental stone sculptures and architectural practices re-emerged. Is a fact, signifying a revival of these art forms. Now, come to the modern empire. Modern का मतलब हुआ कि ये जो अभी हम चर्चा करेंगे आपका 322 से 185 ये see modern art 322 से 185 BC ओके और इसके जो इम्पोर्टेंट रूलर्स है वो पता है कि चंद्रगुप्त मौर्य हैं, अशोक मौर्य हैं, ऐसे इम्पोर्टेंट हैं और इसके बारे में डिटेल्स हम देखेंगे. यदि हम मॉडर्न आर्ट की बात करते हैं तो मॉडर्न आर्ट को दो पार्ट में बांट सकते हैं. वन इज कॉल्ड द कोर्ट आर्ट एंड अनदर वन इज कॉल्ड द पॉपुलर आर्ट. कोर्ट आर्ट का मतलब ये है उसमें पैलेसेस आएंगे, पिलर्स आएंगे एंड स्तूपास आएंगे. फिर जब बात करते हैं हम पॉपुलर आर्ट की तो उसमें फिर आता है केव्स है, पॉटरी है, स्कल्पचर्स है. So, the modern empire has been considered as the golden age for art and architecture, Swarna Yuga. The modern empire characterized by political stability, okay, political stability जो कि मौर्य साम्राज्य था वहां पे राजनीतिक स्थिरता थी. So the modern empire featured by political stability and extensive territorial control provided a conducive environment for artistic expression. The region of Emperor Ashoka, in particular, became synonymous with the flourishing of art and architecture. The era marked a mature and sophisticated use of stone to produce timeless masterpieces. Modern art is broadly categorized into tangible art. Tangible art का मतलब हुआ कि it is the physical structure and objects. Then intangible art, it means concept and traditions. Now come to know the tangible art forms of the modern empire. The tangible art forms during the modern period can be divided into two major types. One is called court art and another one is called popular art, जिसकी चर्चा हमने की है पहले. Now, where is the court art? Architectural creations of the modern rulers. Court art primarily consisted of grand architectural projects commissioned by modern rulers for both political and religious purposes. These works reflected the empire's grandeur, influence, and innovative artistry. Then come to the palaces. One of the finest examples of modern art is the Royal Palace of Patliputra, modern day Patna. Now come to the historical accounts. Greek historians Arian wrote that the palace surpassed the splendor of Susa and Equila, two of the most celebrated cities of that time. Again, the Grand Raja Raj Prasad, the Grand Raj Prasad Palace stood as a model of architecture and craftsmanship, with its magnificence evident from the remains of the assembly hall found in कुमरार in पटना. आप जाके देख भी सकते हैं, उससे चीजें और भी स्पष्ट हो सकती है. If you live in Patna or nearby Patna, you can come and visit Kumarar historical site. Then come to the assembly hall, measured 140 feet in length and 120 feet in width, and contained 84 stone pillars, showcasing the expertise of the modern artisans. Then come the Megasthenes, the Greek travelers and philosophers. Megasthenes, another great historian, described the Mauryan palaces as extraordinary creations of humanity, while the Chinese traveler Faihan, remember, there is the Megasthenes opinion, and now come to the Faihan. Chinese traveler Faihan referred to them as God-gifted monuments. Structure and materials. The palace roofs and floors were primarily constructed using wood, remember, reflecting the prevalent building techniques of that time. Then now come to why the principal material used was wood, stone pillars and other elements, indicating an evolving architectural style combining durability and aesthetics. Then come to the Persian influence on modern art. The design and the style of the Patliputra palace were inspired by the Achaemenid parish of Persepolis in modern day Iran. The influence is seen in the layout, grandeur and use of polished surfaces, blending Persian techniques with the indigenous artistry. Okay. Then come to the current state of the Patliputra Palace. The remains of the Patliputra Palace, मैंने कहा भी कि आप जाके देख सकते हो. The remains of the Patliputra Palace today provide valuable insights into its original structure and design. Archaeological exhibitions at Kumarar have revealed the stone pillars and the basic layout, giving a glimpse into the architectural brilliance of the Mauryan art. Then come to know of the modern periods, symbol of authority and artistry. The modern pillars crafted predominantly from Chunal sandstone, remember, hold a special place in Indian architectural history. These monumental structures were not only state symbols but also tools for disseminating messages of governments and religions across the vast Mauryan Empire. Now come to types and purpose of the Mauryan periods. Objective. The primary purpose of the Mauryan pillars was to spread Buddhist ideology and court orders throughout the empire. Next point. They acted as mediums to communicate the principles of Dhamma, righteousness, and emphasize Emperor Asoka's commitment to non-violence, benevolence, and ethical governance. Then come to language. Most of the inscriptions on these pillars were written in Pali, remember the language, Prakrit, the common language of the time. A few inscriptions were also found in Greek and Aramaic, reflecting the empire's cosmopolitan reach and interactions with neighboring regions. Now then come to key features of pillars. The modern pillars exhibit remarkable craftsman and engineering. The defining characteristics include shape, the strength and monolithic design. Each pillar was carved from a single block of metamorphic stone, giving it exceptional stability and durability. Next point. The tapering shape, the pillars gradually narrow from the bottom to the top, showcasing a refined sense of proportion. A smooth and glossy finish. A hallmark of modern pillars is their smooth, polished surface achieved through advanced techniques. Then look at the dimension. The pillars typically range from 35 to 50 feet in height, remember, and weigh around 50 tons. Then the structural components. Each pillar consists of four main elements. Number one, the shaft. The base of the pillars made from a single stone provides the main vertical structure. Then the capital. Situated on top of the shaft, capitals were often lotus-shaped, remember, or bell-shaped. Then come to abacus, a circular or rectangular element above the capital that served as a base for the crowning of figure. Next, capital figure. representing animals such as lions, elephants, or bulls. These sculptures symbolized strength, wisdom, and imperial authority. Now, look at the unique features. जो अद्वितीय विशेषताएं हैं, इस पर एक नजर. The modern pillars also were not uniform. Remember, the modern pillars were not uniform. Each had a distinct attributes and symbolic elements. Some notable examples include, say, Masala features a lion at the top. Sankisha depicts an elephant as the crowning up figure. Rampoba topped with bull figure. Loria Nandiga adorned with a lion at the apex. Sachi and Sarnath both feature 4 lions at the top, remember, with the Sarnath lion capital becoming India's national emblem. Then come to the Vaishali, displays a single lion. Nigari Sagar, its capital is missing, but remains other features of the Mauryan design. Now look at the comparison, Mauryan and Persian pillars. The Mauryan pillars show both similarities to and differences from Persian Achaemenid pillars, reflecting cross-cultural influences. आइए एक नजर डालते हैं समानताएं पे, सिमिलरिटीज पे. Both feature polished surface and motifs like the lotus. ठीक है, ये पर्शियन आर्ट एंड मॉडर्न आर्ट का कंपैरिजन है. The practice of inscribing decrees on pillars was common to both. The inscriptions of both rulers, Darius and Ashoka, shift from the third person to the first person, showcasing a personal connection with their subjects. Now the points of differences, capital features. Modern pillars often had detailed animal sculptures, that is, lion, bulls, while Persian pillars, such as those at Persepolis, featured more elaborate but different capital designs. Monolithic constructions. Mauryan's shafts were carved from a single stone blocks, remember, whereas the Persian shafts were assembled from multiple segments. Surface finish. Persian pillars typically had a rigid surface, while modern pillars were polished to a smooth, glossy sheen. Lotus shape. The modern depictions of lotus differs stylistically from the Persian version. Now look at the legacy of modern pillars. The modern pillars stand as enduring symbols of art, engineering, textile craft. Beyond their aesthetic appeal, they were instruments of cultural and religious propagation, blending indigenous Indian traditions with the personal influences to create a uniquely modern identity. Modern art, say stupas, caves, pottery, and sculptures. The modern era marked a significant development in art and architecture deeply influenced by the principles of Buddhism. Remember, here is an overview of some of the major art forms during this period. Okay. Now, Seda, stupas. The stupa emerged as a prominent architectural form in the modern period, primarily associated with Buddhist traditions. The origin of stupas, following the Mahaparinirbhan passing of Lord Buddha, his ashes were divided into 8 parts and enshrined under memorials which came to be known as stupas. The structure, a stupa typically comprises the following: and a hemispherical dome or mound that covers Buddha's relics. Then Hamika, a square-shaped railing located at the top of the mound. Then come to Shatra, a central pillar above the Hamika supporting a triple umbrella form, symbolizing protection and honor. Materials used. The core of the stupa was constructed using unburnt bricks. Very important fact. Unburnt bricks. The outer surface was made with the burnt bricks and covered with a thick layer of plaster. Decorations included wooden sculptures on navy, the circumambulatory path, and trainers, that is the gateways. Key locations. Stupas were constructed at several sites: Sharnath, Vaishali, Koshambi, Shravasti, Gaya, Kapilvastu, Takshira, Mathura, Cross, and others. They now come to cave architecture. The caves of the modern period served as viharas, monastic retreats for monks. They are renowned for their simplicity, but their craftsmanship, including polished walls and decorative gateways, is highly appreciable. So this is about the cave architecture. Continue with पहला है cave architecture के संबंध में डिजाइन. The walls of these caves were polished with lustrous apsinies. Wooden architectural elements were prominent with wooden tiles and finally polished slopes. Famous caves are Sudama Caves, located in the Barber Hills. These are the oldest modern caves. Consist of two square rooms with their cylindrical roof. The circular inner room can be accessed via the outer arrow. Nagarjun Caves. Nagarjun Caves situated on Nagarjun Mountain. They comprise three caves. Two smaller caves feature arched roofs, while the third, larger cave has a rectangular hall with an arched roof that is known as Gopi Cave. Shatgav Caves, located in the Maktampur region of Jahanabad. These 7 caves were created during Asoka's region for the Ajivika sect. Barber Caves, including Kanshopper, Sudama Cave, Lumas Rishi Cave, and Vishwamitra Cave. Then come to Shon Bhandar Caves. Shon Bhandar Caves, found in Rajgir. These caves are considered precursors to the Chaitya and Vihara architectural styles seen later in the Deccan. Then come to the pottery. The pottery of the modern period is best exemplified by northern black polished, याद रखेंगे, polished ware. It is abbreviated as NBPW. Features characterized by lustrous black finish and black paint, known for its durability and aesthetic appeal. The centers of production, major centers include Kaushambi and Patliputra. We are talking of the pottery. Then come to the sculptures. The sculptures of the modern period serve both worship purposes and decorative functions. Actually, sculptures shows male natural, यक्ष के बारे में बात हो रही है, male natural aspects symbolizing fertility and abundance. Actually, female counterparts to yaksh. Notable examples include the torso of a nude male figure from Lohanipur, Patna. Next, the Aksh statue form, Didarganj. Other significant sculptures, say Aksh image, discovered at Parkham village, Mathura, known as Manibhadra. Tri-faced Aksh found at Rajghat, Varanasi. Shishpalgarh, Odisha, houses a Yaksh idol. X from Kurukshetra and Akshini from Mehrauli. Just to continue with, आगे बढ़ते हैं. Additional sculptures. Jain Digamba statue from Rohanipur, two main statues from Sarnath, and other animal sculptures, say horse, elephant, bull, deer, etc., found at different sites. Relation of modern art with Buddhism. The modern art, especially its pillars, stupas, and sculptures, is closely intertwined with Buddhist ideology and teaching. Pillars. The represented Buddhist teachings and values. Geometry of the wheel symbolizes the victory of righteousness over physical greed. Lotus represents purity rising above worldly mud, signifying the spiritual ideals of Buddhism. Then look at the wheel. Dharma chakra embodies the 12 phases of life and the 4 noble truths of Buddhism. Lions at the top of the pillars signify Buddha's birth in the Shakya lion clan. Inscriptions in Pali disseminated messages of benevolence, non-violence, जिसको अहिंसा बोलते हैं, love, प्रेम, for nature as taught by Buddha. Stupas enshrine the relics of Buddha, symbolizing his physical and spiritual presence. Sculptures. Many sculptures, including Akshini, were used in religious contests, blending Buddhist themes and indigenous traditions. The modern art and architecture started as a testament to the creative and spiritual achievements of the era, from the grandeur of stupas and pillars to the refinement of pottery and sculptures. These creations embody the fusion of indigenous traditions and Buddhist principles, leaving a lasting legacy in the cultural and architectural heritage of India. About stupas. The design and orientation of the stupa are deeply symbolic, with its 4 cardinal directions representing significant events in life of Lord Buddha. East symbolizes Buddha's birth at Lumbini. South represents his righteousness under the Bodhi tree at Bodhgaya. West denotes Buddha's first sermon at Sarnath, where he set the wheel of Dharma in motion. North reflects Buddha's Mahaparinirvan, final liberation at Kushinagar. This alignment serves as a spiritual guide for devotees connecting from the Buddha's life journey through meditative and ritual practices around the stupa. The Mauryan caves carved into hills and rocky terrains served as spiritual retreats and functional spaces for monks. Viharas. The purpose. Viharas were living quarters for monastic communities, especially monks of the Mahayana tradition. Seasonal use. Monks used these caves as shelters, particularly during the rainy season, ensuring uninterrupted meditation and study. Then come to the chatyas. The purpose. Chatyas were prayer house often built with viharas. Then come to the structure and significance. These halls contained sacred relics of Buddha. Making them shelters of worship and meditation. Now come to the design of chaityas. Typically, chaityas were spacious with an arched roof and an altar or a stupa at the center for religious ceremonies. These caves not only provided shelter and spiritual solace, but also showcased fine craftsmanship and artistic vision of the Mauryan period. So that's all about this Mauryan art and architecture. Thank you.